My name's Matt Costello, and when I was very, very young, I really enjoyed getting lost in my fantasies, walking around and making up stories in my head, and I was very lucky enough to turn that into my life. So my life is about stories and books, written a lot of books, and video games, written a lot of video games, and also on the internet, creating different kinds of internet experiences. So the question is, well, where does that come from? Which is another way of saying, well, how do you be creative? Well, you can't sort of like open up a textbook and read how to be creative, unfortunately. But I believe that we're basically born. If you watch babies, they're creating all the time. If you have little brothers and little sisters at home, just watch what they're doing. And so part of it is not learning to sort of lose all that sense of playfulness. It's having fun with ideas. It's about letting things go. And basically playing what if. And even when we're taught to be, especially these days, everyone wants to grow up. Who wants you guys to grow up to be very pragmatic and practical, because life is serious, and life is serious. But the way we solve big problems is by being creative. And that means what if. And it could be, let's say you do something on the internet. Let's say you're on Facebook. You might look at the Facebook and say, well, what if Facebook did something different? I don't know what it is. What if it had big horns? Then you've been on it too long. Things like that. Or look at your video games. Look at the things you like about them. But I'm sure there's things like that could be better. And it's from you guys that those next generation of games are going to come. Because you'll say, what if? It's the way all things emerge. It's how we get better ocean liners and rocket ships and novels and so forth. So just letting it go. And a lot of it is just getting many experiences under your belt, doing as many things that are exciting and fun and challenging, like whether it's diving or climbing or hiking or really experiencing life. And if it's not something you've done before, in a positive way, of course, it might be something you should try, just to see what it's like. If it's something that, say, for example, boys don't usually do, maybe you should try it. Maybe you've never knit your own hat, knit it. If it's something girls usually don't do, you should try it perhaps. And you may say, and you've pushed yourself and your mind to do different things. So that's my advice for today on being creative. And it applies to everything, but certainly applies to the World Wide Web, which we spend a lot of our time living on.